The Blues Fan Forum podcast is presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media Group. I-70 strives to bring you the best sports coverage in the tri-state area. Find them on Facebook or at interstate70sports.media.
This is Jordan Bennington, and you're listening to the Blues Fan Forum podcast.
Skating on the ice, under St. Louis city lights, where the Blues play with all their might. Jordan Cairo, fast on the attack, but defense falters, gotta cut him some slack. In Robert's arms, we find our glory. His skills shine, the team's best story. St. Louis Blues, we wear the crest. In Jordan Bennington, we put our trust to the test. On the ice, we fight and we must, for the city we love. In the blue, no we'll trust.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 133 of the Blues Fan Forum podcast, sponsored by or presented by Scooters Coffee. Blues fans can score amazing drinks like the signature Carmelicious, served hot, iced, or blended, with world-class espresso with fruit smoothies, Scoot energy infusions, and so much more. Scoot on around to our drive-thrus on Highway 143 at Troxler Way, and in Highland, in Vandalia Street and Indiana Avenue, in Collinsville, or any of our 30 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast, Scooters Coffee. I am your host, Dakota. We're at Jacob Bliss today. He has the night off, but we are joined by Blues Fan Forum first. Danny, what's going on, boss? Welcome to the show.
Hold on.
Did I lose you? You are muted, Danny.
Why is it not letting me?
All right, I can hear you now, Danny. Now I can't. There's an unmute button. There you are. You're back. You're back.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you could join us. Thanks for taking an hour out of your day to talk some Blues hockey. But first, the thing I want to jump into is like a little icebreaker and kind of get to know who you are. Your claim to fame from the Blues Lounge. How did you become so Blues Lounge famous? And how did that all take off?
Bought tickets to a Blues game, posted on the lounge, just seeing if a single female wanted to go with me, not making it a date or anything, just simply inviting somebody, and the Blues community just went crazy with it. Like I said, I never expected it to blow up like that. Got a banner that was going to be raised up to retire me in the Raptors. Blue Freeman Knight, saving babies, delivering kids on side of the road, stuff like that. I mean, it was just I figured I was going to get so much I figured I was going to get made fun of for doing it, but definitely didn't. People just hopped in and supported me, and I think it was still pretty positive, even though I didn't get a date to the Blues game. I had to take a buddy, but it still turned out to be pretty positive.
I mean, might I say, I feel like when I saw that post, I didn't think anything of it. It was just like, oh, yeah, they just, throwing it out there. But
yeah.
Were you surprised by the traction that it got? Like you said, you thought you were going to get a lot of shit for it. Were you surprised immediately about the response?
Oh, yeah. No. I was blown away by the complete opposite reaction that I thought I was going to get. So I play for a hockey team that's sponsored by the Blues, actually. And some of my buddies seen it, and in our team chat, they were like, oh, you're going to get so much hate for that. And I'm like, yeah, probably. But then they were like, oh, wait, no, you didn't. You became like St. Louis Blues Lounge famous. So,
yeah, I was like, I was curious as to the response that you were also going to get. I kind of like scrolled on by because obviously, I wasn't playing as a single female at that point. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was a kind of a vulnerable ask, but a good response no matter what. But yeah, I mean, now let's talk some Blues hockey. I mean, I thought the Blues Lounge Hall of Fame was a good way to kind of pivot and to get to know you. But now we're going to get to know some of your opinions and perspectives of the St. Louis Blues. We're only 3 games in, so the perspective and the opinions are what we want to hear the most. So I'm going to fire some questions at you, but we're going to go through the first 3 games of the year. Coming in, before I get your opinion, what was your kind of takeaway from preseason? What was your takeaway from the Blues as a roster? Like, what did you think about what we had going into the start of the year?
So preseason, I was a little worried because we only won 1 game in the preseason, if I remember.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't
matter. Yeah, but it gives you that perspective of like, how we're not gonna do too good though, But judging from the roster we have now, I think we'll be all right. Preseason was shaky, but that's getting that break jitters off, right? So, and you got new people coming in.
Yeah, I think I was the most surprised with how much they played the rookies coming into this training camp. I think in past training camps, now obviously this is our first year with Jim Montgomery at the helm. They I mean, towards the end of the year or towards the end of the training camp, we had probably 6 to 10 rookies that were still on the roster. Usually they try to get rid of those guys pretty quick so they can go back to the AHL or wherever they're going to go, whether the junior team. So they start getting reps, if you're not going to be with the NHL team while you're sitting there, playing with them. I think Montgomery is more of the in the realm of chemistry. These guys that are going to the AHL, and I think we've touched on this a couple of podcasts ago, but like our depth is so unique because easily those 5 to 8 guys they sent down could have easily made the NHL roster. We just don't have the room. So I kind of took it as like you're only developing chemistry because it's one of those things. Injuries happen throughout the year. If guys have to come in and slot in, whether it be a third-line wing or a second-line center or even a third-line D, the more reps they have with guys that they might be playing with in the NHL ranks is only going to be beneficial for you come the injury time. So I thought it was a unique play by Jim Montgomery to keep those guys up as long as he did.
Yeah, I agree. I was also surprised with the giving Lucic the PTO after not playing for so long. I know whenever I went to the Dallas preseason game, he didn't look like he had it. Kind of just looked slow out there. He's also, I think, 37 years old now, so I was surprised with that. But I don't know if they've released him yet or not, so I was a little shocked with that.
So yeah, I agree. When I went to, I think I went to the last home preseason game. I guess I would have been against Ottawa, I believe. Yeah. He, in my perspective, so I used to work at Flower Child, and the Blues would come in there all the time. Colton Parayko came in and was like, I asked him just one question. Usually I don't try to bother these guys. They're usually trying to get a quick meal and be gone. But I was like, Parayko, like, I got to know, like, what's your thoughts on Milan Lucic? He was like, he looks ready. And I was like, kind of stunned. I took that answer and ran with it because, like, that's just what us Blues fans do. Like, holy shit, we got Milan Lucic of old.
Yeah.
I mean, I took that and I was like, verbatim, like, he's ready. Like, this dude's going to make the NHL roster. When I saw the PTO extended to him, I was a little hesitant. I was like, there is no way this dude is ready. He had an entire year off. He's old. Your body needs to be active in order to play in the NHL. Like, you just can't just take a year off and then be like, oh, yeah, I can. It's like asking an Olympic swimmer to take a full 365 days off and then go run a 400-meter sprint or a 400-meter butterfly and be like, all right, cool. Let's see you, place. It just doesn't make sense. So, like, to see him get a PTO, great, cool, comeback story, let's go. But to see him play in the preseason, I was like, this dude is not ready. Like, I would. I said this before. By far, I would take a Matthew Joseph. I would take a Texier over a Lucic. It doesn't matter how heavy he plays. I would take Texier's offensive ability. I would take his shooting. I would take his skating over the fact that Milan Lucic could run you over like a horse.
Yeah.
I know that's the day and age that we're going towards is speed and recovery and offense, and nobody really plays a heavy body anymore. But like, I just don't think we would take up a roster spot for somebody that is going to average 9 minutes a game and who's going to put 5 guys through the boards. I would rather take Texier, who can develop, play that offensive ability. Sure, is he poor on the back check? Maybe, but I'd rather take that any day of the week. But that's my 2 cents. I liked how we played in the preseason. I thought we developed a lot of chemistry. That leads us to game 1. Game 1, we had the home opener at Enterprise. Fans were just absolutely buzzing. We did not show up. I don't think the Blues got out of the hotel room. 5-0, we lose. JB in net. A lot of people are eyeing JB, especially with the Olympics coming up, especially with how he played at the Four Nations. He comes out and looks like he didn't get off the bus. So we lose 5-0. I think the big takeaways for me, at least, and then I'll let you kind of tee it up as well. Big takeaways for me, I thought the team looked solid for the first 30 minutes they played. I thought the chemistry that you saw in the preseason was evident in the first 30 minutes. I feel like we got a couple bad breaks, a couple bad bounces. The puck luck wasn't on our side. Therefore, we lose 5-0. I would have liked it to be 2-0. 5-0 is a little less. It's hard to swallow. But yeah, 5-0 mini. How'd you feel? What was your takeaway?
So I was actually I was there for that game.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think overall the team looked pretty solid. Minnesota's goalie he was having a night. He wasn't letting anything past him. I mean, we had plenty of opportunities. We just couldn't get the puck past him. Benner, definitely not his best game. I think he let a couple of soft goals in that you probably want back. But other than that, I mean, I guess, it's a team game. So he loses it, we all lose, right? So I just think, that game just wasn't him. The team just couldn't get goals. Can't win games without goals. So we weren't putting the puck in the net and getting him that offense he needed. So I can't completely blame Benner, but he should have had some more saves and kept a couple of them soft goals out. And I think we would have had a 2-3-0 game then.
I believe that JB plays better with a goal on the board. I believe he plays. I mean, shit. Who wouldn't, right? Any NHL goaltender with a 1-0 lead or a lead is probably going to play lights out. But once you let one goal in, once you let another, those pucks seem to be like needles, and you're shooting at a soccer net. So
yeah,
I can vouch for some of the goals that went in. Do I think he got some bad breaks? Absolutely. Do I blame that game on him? No. His job is to stop the puck, and yes, did a lot of goals go in, but I feel like there was a lot of defensive breakdowns. Our neutral zone is always one of the scariest things that us fans can watch is when we carry the puck to the neutral zone. Are we going to cough it up? And is there going to be a 2-on-1 breakaway?
Yeah.
I feel like we saw that in the last 2 games, but we definitely cleaned it up. But our takeaway, I think my takeaway, and then I'm going to get yours, was, it can't get much worse. Starting the game or starting the season off losing 5-0 to a team that you're going to be fighting for in the Central is rough, but it can't get much worse. So that was my takeaway. I had high hopes coming out of that. I was nervous. I was like, shit, 5-0, JB in that, like the roster looked solid on paper, and then all of a sudden you see the score sheet and you're like, well, what happened? So what was your takeaway?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, you can't get any worse than 5-0 on a home opener. So the only way to go is up from there. So, I agree. Definitely had some breakdowns with the defense. Personally, being someone that plays defense, your goalie gives up a couple of goals, and you're not feeling it as well. So. But yeah, no, I was definitely disappointed with the loss, but once you lose that first one, you know where to go but up, right? So
Absolutely. That's how. Then that leads right into game number 2. The Blues immediately go to the Canada swing. We start our first road trip of the year in Canada, and we go to Calgary. Typically a hard place to play. The Blues typically do well playing on the road. But you face Calgary, Nazem Kadri. Everybody hates this guy. My thoughts on game 2 were flawless. I felt like the Blues played a lot better, and their possession was a lot better. It helps when you get 2 goals from Jake Neighbors. And then you had guys driving the net. You see Pia Suter getting a tip from Tucker. I felt like guys were playing for each other. I feel like they almost came out with a chip on their shoulder. Like, how are we gonna throw up a goose egg at home? So I felt like there was a lot of steam coming from that engine of Jim Montgomery, and they came out and they showed what that actual roster can do and provide for us and the NHL. Our team is filled with a lot of highly skilled players. Robert Thomas, Jimmy Snuggerud, Pavel Buchnevich, Braden Shin. I mean, Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. We can add that to the list. Like, these guys are offensive threats. And for us to finally show it on the road, 4-2 Calgary win, like, I couldn't have asked for a better backup game to a home opener. It was our second home opener, only it was on the road.
Yeah.
What was your perspective?
So I think I was actually shocked that you go to the second game and you don't give it to Benner. That was a little bit of a shock to me. He's the number 1 goalie, so you would think, hey, let him redeem himself, but no, Hofer got it. So maybe that's one of those not saying it or saying it without actually saying it, saying, hey, you may be the number 1 person, but if you don't do it on that if you don't do the job the first time, we're going to give that shot to that second person. So, that could have put a little bit of a kick in the butt to the other guy, showing, hey, we may give it to another guy if you ain't going to provide, right? So that was a little shocking to me.
Yeah, that brings up a really good point in the fact that, like, I think Jim Montgomery has been very, very nonchalant when it comes to, like, playing his hand close to his chest. He lets you know. Like, he tells the media how it is. Like, hey, like, we didn't have it. We didn't see this. I didn't see this out of the guys. I thought we didn't play a full 60. I was shocked when he didn't put Benner in, but I knew exactly why he didn't. It was, hey, we have on record a really good 1-2 tandem. And Joel Hofer has, I would say, absolutely earned the right to be an NHL starter. He's just following a guy that just happened to bring the Blues' only Stanley Cup to the city. Really hard to follow. It's like when they replaced Albert Pujols for the St. Louis Cardinals. It was like, how do you fill that guy's shoes? So being Joel Hofer and being a stud of a backup that he is, there's not much to prove. Like you know that you can be a goaltender, you know that you can be an NHL starter. As soon as his number's called, I feel like he really does come out and show up. He made really good saves. He was very protective of his crease, and that's something that, like I said, we've ingrained in Blues fans for the last 30 years is having a good 1-2 tandem. Like we don't have a Sergei Bobrovsky, we don't have a Tim Thomas of his era, we don't have a Martin Brodeur. We've got two solid goaltenders that no matter what, any given night, they can put up a shutout for you and stand on their head. So,
yeah, definitely.
I thought it was really good for him to come out game one, his first game of the year, and throw up a W. It's only looking up for the Blues. And now we're going to try and fast forward to the last game that we played. The most recent one, I think, was played on Sunday? Monday? Losing track of time.
I think it might have been Sunday.
These days are running together. I'll believe you and say it was Sunday. Somebody fact check me in the comments. We're live on Facebook, and I'm getting some comments. I'll read them in just a second. We'll read that. Justin said, game 2 and 3, they did something really well, and it's the defense generating offense. The defense took a shoot first mentality at the blue line, not allowing goalies to get set, and they also did great with net front presence in game 2 and 3. Could not agree more. I thought a lot happened between game 1 to game 2, and then obviously game 2 and game 3 was almost a carbon copy. You saw a lot of net front presence. We're going to talk about the game on I guess Sunday, whatever it was against Vancouver. But the net front presence was there. If you look at Jimmy Snuggerud's goal, or if you look at Jimmy Snuggerud's 2 goals, net front presence. If you look at our defense core coming up, and I guess we might have 3 wingers or 3 forwards high, but you can always guarantee that if a winger is back, a defenseman's always going to pinch. Having that mentality of bringing, the defense in on the offense was never a bad idea. I loved Justin Falk's play when he was on the power play. I think it was like maybe our 3rd or 4th. I know we had a lot of power plays, didn't really score a lot of power play goals, but we had the chances. He was constantly pinching on that right-hand side. Bring that defense into the offense, and it's never going to be a bad thing. We have the defensemen to do that. Tyler Tucker, of all guys, is starting to step up in the offense. I mean, hell, he assisted on Pia Suter's goal. Justin Falk always will play the power play unit. He's always going to be looked at as an offensive defenseman. Philip Broberg, same thing as last year. Colton Parayko. I've seen that dude take more slap shots in 3 games than I did that dude see that he took in 20 games last year. It's really good to see early on in the season.
Oh, yeah. Blues
win 5-2 in Vancouver. Danny, what was your perspective? What was your thoughts? How did you like the Blues play?
So I want to touch. You mentioned the D stepping up and playing offense, being more involved. Like I said earlier, being a defenseman, obviously in the NHL, the defensemen know that their forwards are going to step back and drop back for them. So you got skill, especially Broberg. I have been a fan of him since we got him. I think that was him and Holloway were like the best thing that Armstrong did that shocked everybody. But yeah, I mean, the way they bounced back in Calgary and Vancouver, just they were playing as a 5-man team, 5-man unit. So when you do that, and you wear the other team down, you're obviously going to dominate. And they're showing that the roster now, once they get to playing with each other, they could be unstoppable. So I think the bounce back from game 2 and 3 has a lot of potential to lead this team far. So I was very shocked with the Vancouver game, though. So
to touch on what we just discussed 5 minutes ago with JB, how did you think he recovered in the second game of the year?
So I think, whenever they played Hofer in Calgary, he has to come out and play like flawlessly in game 3. I mean, he has to keep up that standard that Hofer set. So, I mean, you got to come out and stand on your head. I mean, yeah, he gave up a couple of goals, but, you know, I think now once them two are going to keep that going, I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal watching these two go back and forth throughout the season.
And Justin brings up a good point. I'm going to reiterate what he's saying as well. Is the Blues were absolute sharks smelling blood in the water, and Vancouver was absolutely swarmed on the forecheck. I think the Blues, and sure, come after me when I say this, but we're all Blues fans, so I think you all agree. The Blues, when they play a heavy forecheck game, like there were times in that Vancouver game where I legitimately thought the Blues were going to maintain the puck for at least 5 minutes. There was a shift. I believe it was maybe the second or first period where Vancouver was hemmed in. I think it was second because they had that long change, where they didn't get a line change for 2.5 minutes. And the Blues maintained puck possession and put 7 shots on goal in 2.5 minutes. They were gassed. When you are playing a heavy forecheck game and you are not allowing their forwards or defensemen to gain any sort of ice time, it just leads to better scoring opportunities. And the Blues that's their bread and butter. We're not gonna blow you away with a Connor McDavid skating 200 feet to score a goal. We're not gonna amaze you with Cale Makar dancing around the blue line. We're not. We're gonna play a heavy forecheck, gritty game. We're gonna make you tired, tire you out, and then when your head's spinning because we're spinning around in the ozone behind the net, and then we give it to the guy in the slot or in the on the circles. That's the Blues DNA, and I feel like Jim Montgomery, when he came in, he realized that has to be the DNA. We can't just sit here and dance around in the neutral zone. We have to play a heavy forecheck game, and that's what the Blues have done in Game 2 and Game 3. I don't believe that it was done. We were doing it in Game 1, and Danny, you were there. You can disagree. But I do think the first 30 we did. I think the last 30 we hands were off, foot was off the gas. I do want to say hello, Samantha. Thanks for tuning in again. She is our AHL go-to guru with all things AHL-wise. She knows all those guys. But yeah, I believe the Blues played a heavy forecheck game in Game 2 and Game 3. I think that's the DNA. We have to keep that going.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I actually, I was talking to one of my friends because I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm not the biggest fan of Jordan Kyrou. But my buddy, one of my buddies is, and I don't know what I was doing, but he sent me a text. He's like, dude, there's a whole new Jordan Kyrou. It's like he's back checking and being offensive and defensive. I'm like, well, I mean, that's what we need from him. Like, if you look at how he did in the playoffs, there was significant you could see a difference in the playoffs with him. He was throwing body checks. He was back checking, forechecking, and putting pressure on, and he did phenomenal for us. So when he's on his game, he's a great player. But he doesn't do that consistently. So that's my only thing with him. But yeah, when we do that, we're phenomenal.
I like what you said about Kyrou. My brother-in-law is not the biggest fan of him either. But I think the biggest upside to Jordan Kyrou is his speed. And if that guy could just understand that he doesn't have to make the prettiest play or the prettiest pass or the prettiest move, he could utilize his speed in so many different avenues and be so successful. I think the thing that really does, is stacked against him is the fact that he wants to be that McDavid or Kirill Kaprizov or Nathan McKinnon. He's just not. And that's okay. If you can hone in and hone that skill that you have of just utilizing your speed, he has a great shot. And I think his neutral zone play is the thing that's frustrating as hell, is because he'll cough it up in the neutral zone and he'll be the one going and back checking. and lifting the stick of the defender and grabbing the puck and going back up the ice. But if you were just smart with the puck in the neutral zone, you wouldn't have to sit there and forecheck every damn time. Like, I'm glad that you're never giving up on the play and you're going back and defending your own crease. But for hell's sake, dude, like, just make some smarter decisions. If you don't have a lane, fucking dump it. Apologize for the profanity. I know this is a kid show, but hey, just dump it. Dump and chase. Go off and get a line change. Get some fresh bodies on the ice and let them hone in a little bit more. Just don't make dumb decisions in the neutral zone, and then you're leaving your goaltender to hang out to dry. Like, you shouldn't have to tap your goaltender on the pads every 20 minutes because you screwed him. Just make smarter decisions.
I will. I have to give him props. The against Vancouver, he got that breakaway, and he didn't take the shot. He slowed up, turned around, and set up, Shin for that goal. So, I mean, that right there shows, maybe he's gonna be better this season. Because honestly, I thought he was gonna shoot it and we were gonna give up a scoring chance, but he surprised me and we scored. So
that's the only thing that I really have seen as a takeaway to my favorite guy on the team, and Robert Thomas. At some point in his career, he will be a captain. But I do think there's a little bit of hesitancy in his game right now of, like, if you don't have a lane, shoot. Like, or if you don't have a pass, shoot. I think he's trying to make that pass. I think he is a natural born passer, but he has a really good shot. And that's something that I saw as a plus to Jimmy Snuggerud, and we'll touch on Jimmy in a little bit. But Jimmy is not afraid to shoot. I love that. For a young kid coming out of college, he played, a handful of games with us, including the playoffs. But for him having his first full year in the NHL and he's not afraid to shoot, that's a really good thing for us. Fuck it. If you don't have something, shoot it. What's the worst that can happen? It goes in, right?
Yeah.
It gets blocked, right? Just don't be afraid to shoot. And I think Tommy is in the mindset of he's got to make that pretty pass to Pavel or Braden Shen or Jimmy Snuggerud or even a Jordan Kyrou. Just shoot it. Like us Blues fans, I'm sure growing up, we all yelled, shoot it. Whenever the Blues were, across the blue line, like, just shoot it, right? Yeah. And I know these guys get paid millions of dollars to make pretty plays, but, like, at the end of the day, shots on goal. To say what Dave Portnoy's, famous saying, shots on goal, right? What's the worst that could happen? But I love Jimmy Snuggerud putting the puck on net. I love Jordan Kyrou's smart play, that play to Braden Shen. We all thought he was driving the net. We all thought he was going to make some weird, wacky move. But no, he put the brakes on. He evaded the defenseman. He made the nice little pass to Braden Shen. It got tipped a little bit. Braden Shen gathered it, put it top cheese. I mean, what a great play altogether. But the first 3 games, you love to come out ahead on the road trip. Now you come home, you play Chicago on Wednesday. When this airs tomorrow morning, I hope we're all listening to this podcast getting absolutely jacked for us to kick some major ass against Chicago, the Shithawks. But all in all, 3 games, you come out 2-1. You come back home, you're going to probably get a better effort than what you did at the home opener. But let's talk about Jimmy Snuggerud. What did you see coming out of the preseason, and what was your high hopes for him? And then we're going to discuss kind of his time on ice and what he's done so far.
So, bring him coming in. I think he joined us in the playoffs last year, right? Like full time. He kind of impressed me when he first came in. Preseason, I mean, he just kind of looked like he started where he left off. And obviously he's producing. I mean, I'm not really a lineup person because I think everybody on every line produces. It just depends on the chemistry for him. Like, you put him with people that are going to get him the puck, and he's obviously going to shoot. So I've become a fan of Snuggie. I know you look at, we had Bolduc there for a little while too. He impressed me a little bit, but obviously we sent Bolduc to Montreal. But I'm happy with Snuggie. Snuggie is not afraid to shoot, and the kid's got a shot. Like, he has impressed me so much with his shot. So I think he's on track to be a good goal scorer for us.
I'm going to say what Chris said. Chris said, hot take, Snuggie will be a better puck carrier than Bedard. Wild take, but I'm a homer here. We're going to agree. I believe he will be. I think he is a better puck carrier of the puck. Puck carrier of the puck. Well, that doesn't make sense. He is a better puck handler than Bedard. Reason being is I do think he has that keen sense of understanding of the game. It's okay to not make fancy passes. You saw him do a lot of that. Now, I'm not saying fancy, but he made really good tape-to-tape passes in the preseason, and that made us excited. I mean, I went to a game against Ottawa in the preseason. He was not looking anywhere towards where he passed at all. I think he was on the back check, took the puck away, and immediately passed it behind him, and there was Braden Shin to scoop up the puck. You just have that, like, you just can't teach that. That's something that is developed, that either you're born with or you just have, is that sense of understanding. And that's what I think is going to make him better than Bedard. Again, hot take. Don't come after me, but you can agree because we're all Blues fans. He is going to be easily in the Calder race, without a doubt. He's very impressive. He's smart. He doesn't get too high. The moment, he's never high enough for the moment. They were talking about that. Joey Vitale's like, dude, you just scored 2 goals in the NHL. Like, crack a smile. No, he's dead focused. He's got that serial killer look. Like, he's always focused on the next play. Braden Shin tapped him on the dome and was like, great job, and he was just like zoned. Bedard's supposedly the next. Wait, what are we doing? Bedard was supposedly the next McDavid. Bedard isn't capable of going through multiple guys. Here's my thing. I had this take in the offseason, and I wanted Snuggie to grow a little bit and get some meat to his bones, right? I think this season is his first year in the NHL, first full year. People know who Jimmy Snuggerud is. He has a target on his back. He's just like a Paul Kariya or a Nathan McKinnon. Those guys are stealthy. What they do with the puck is lethal. You don't think there's going to be guys in the NHL that are going to headhunt when he has the puck because they know what he's going to be able to do with it. I want him to be able to body some guys. I want him to be able to keep the people off of him so he can make those really nice plays through the neutral zone, through the offensive zone. But that was my only takeaway. I thought he played absolutely phenomenal in his first 3 games. He didn't look like he had any sort of doubt in his shot. Like you said, like he wasn't afraid to shoot. And that's something you really, really want when you got a guy coming out of college. He's first year in the NHL. He's already firing on net. He's got 2 goals on the year. Yes.
Yeah.
2 goals, 1 assist, I think. So 3 points, 3 games. I mean, fuck, if he keeps this up, it's 82 points. You know, streaks follows.
Yeah. I think the big difference there. So I think Snuggie has potential to get bigger. Put a little meat on the bones. Like he's a pretty sizable guy now. Bedard, I'm not a fan of him either. He's just too tiny. I don't think he has the potential to get big like some forwards need to be. Snuggie can. I think he has the potential to put more mass on in the offseason or even throughout the season. Bedard just doesn't. If he were to get bigger, he'd be a pretty comparable person, but I think he's a lot smaller than Snuggie. So I'm definitely a fan of Snuggie and not a fan of Bedard.
No, I agree. I'm going to get to this hot take in just a second, but I got to read some ads before Jacob, yells at me. He won't yell. But again, we mentioned when we first started the podcast, if you're a fan of coffee, scoot to Scooters. We would prefer you go to the one on Highway 143 in Troxel Way in Highland, or Vandalia Street in Indiana Avenue in Collinsville. Or again, if you can't get to those, we got 30 locations all around the greater St. Louis area. We are also presented by Hughes Custom Design. Hughes Custom Design is a family-owned and operated small business out of Maryville, Illinois, specializing in laser hand-cut painted signs. They have options upon request. Usually, I have the sign that they made for me, usually visible, but now it's by my door. But it's really cool. Laser cut hand-painted signs. I got the Blue Note. They're probably going to do the updated Blue Note now, even though some people say it's not updated. But really cool. Perfect for any man cave, office, whatnot. Imprint Labs. Imprint Lab specializes in bringing your brand to life with custom laser engraved Richardson hats, vibrant customs. I'm sorry, I'm reading from an ad read here. Yeah, I'll let Jacob handle that one. Imprint Labs, that's who we're sponsored by this year as well. Really cool. Usually has one to show everybody. I don't. So just visualize a really cool sign. I'm going to do this hot take. Snuggie can be 40-60 in 2 years. So you're saying that he's going to get to 100 points with 40 goals and 60 assists. Is that how we're taking this, Chris? That's how I'm interpreting it, is the 40 and 60. Is that how you're doing it too, Danny?
I mean, if I think I know this Shockey here, that's probably what he's meaning. This might be. I think he might be an old teammate of mine from the Blues Warrior team I play with.
Because 40 and 60 is a hot take, considering we haven't even seen this guy hit 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 goals and 60. That's a wild take. Again, we're homers here. We like the homer ability of a Jimmy Snuggerud being 40 and 60. I had him at 38 points, I believe, for the year. Who's to say I'm wrong? But he's got to keep this up for a full 82, right? He's averaged now a point a game. What can you do for a full 82? There's no time like the present. I'd like to see him. Hey, if he gets to 60 points this year, dude, the sky is the limit.
Oh, yeah.
We've got. He was supposed to be the next coming of Jesus for the Blues. So hey, I'd like to see it happen. So 40 and 60, Chris. I hope you're right. I hope I eat my words in the next 2 years. But hey, I'd like to see what he does this year, and then we can talk about 2 years from now. I have 58 for this year. You have him for 58. Hey, all right, cool. 20 more than me. Point's a point. As long as the Blues make the Stanley Cup playoffs at the end of the year, I could give a rat's ass how we get there or who does it for us. But if Jimmy Snuggerud's all part of it, then great. Nick Bjugstad. Let's talk about Nick Bjugstad. So I was really, really big on Nick Bjugstad. He wasn't with the Blues. I thought he was a great player. I thought he stood for a lot. Always represented the team he played for well. Always played a heavy body. Wasn't always going to light up the score sheet, but then again, who on the Blues really has? So when we got him, I was like, dude, this is great. This is a great signing. How are we going to integrate Nick Bjugstad into what it is to be a Blue? And for the first 3 games, that dude has just been an absolute unit. Game 3, he really came out. So he's averaging around 8.5 minutes a game. Pretty low, considering his role and responsibility on the fourth line. But his responsibility is to play a heavy forecheck, drive the lane, and get pressure. I think he's done all 3 of those well. And hell, it even resulted in Jimmy Snuggerud. I'm positive that's who drove the lane. I think it was Nick Bjugstad. Oh, sorry. Nick Bjugstad drove the lane on Nathan Walker's goal.
Yeah.
That's not Jimmy Snuggerud. My apologies. But no, he still drove the lane. Pass back to Nathan Walker from Alexander Texier, and boom, Nathan Walker scores because Nick Bukestad was standing in the crease. Like, you don't get that goal unless Nick Bukestad drives the lane. I'm going to say that right there. I think Nathan Walker has a great shot, but Nick Bukestad, he is the reason why that goal was scored. What's your thoughts on Nick Bukestad?
So I've been a low key fan of him ever since he's been in the league. He's a big body. We need that. He gets it going. You're not. He's kind of like, he reminds me of Colton Parayko in a forward position. You get him going, and there's nobody going to get in his way or stop him. And I think that was a good signing. We need a big body as a forward. So get him in front of that net. He's taller than most of the NHL goalies out there. So get him in front of that goalie, and that goalie's probably not going to see the puck. But yeah, no, I think he was a great addition. I was happy to see that we got him.
Yeah, I think that addition plays well with the fact that we are a heavy forecheck team. Adding a big guy like that, I don't even know who I really want to compare him to in past years. He just plays a different style of game. Like, he's a big dude. Like you said, he's like standing, he's like a concrete post, and he's just there. Like, it's really hard to move. So having that guy as a residual, forechecker to, our fourth line is, because the guys that are playing on our fourth line aren't big guys by any means. They play big, but they're not big guys. So to have that, that brick wall just on the ice and as a scoring threat, I mean, shit. It's a really good addition to the fourth line. Big body, plays the puck well, drives the lane, gets into scoring opportunities, creates the havoc in front of the net. You can't be mad at Nick Bukestad in the first 3 games. Really excited for what he does with the Blues this year. You said you were a silent fan, so was I. And then when we got him, we're like, all right, here we go. What do we got here? Him and Walker together is tenacious fourth Walker with his rugby style and Nick's size. Yeah, absolutely. Nathan Walker in Calgary was great, even better in Vancouver. I don't think there was a single time that Nathan Walker was on the ice that he didn't hit 2 guys. Like, that puck could have been easily played. Nathan Walker always plays the body. I think that is the best part of his game. Does he score the puck from time to time? Absolutely. But the fact that he is heavy on the forecheck and that he creates those chances, and his back checking ability is insane. He is like a little tiny little kangaroo out there. That dude's quick.
Yeah, so. I refer to him as the Tasmanian devil because he is all over the place. Mm-hmm. He is in everybody's face, and if you see when there's a scrum on the ice and he's on the ice, he does not hesitate to get in there, and he doesn't care how big the person is. So I'm a fan of Walker too. I like his play.
All right, so now we're going to get into 2 segments that we have loved and appreciated on this podcast. The first one being Teach Me How to Doug. I'm really bad with technology, so I'm not going to play the Teach Me How to Doug music while I'm doing it. I'm giving you this question. So for those of you who are all about bells and whistles, my apologies. Just act like there's the Teach Me How to Doug music in the background. Teach Me How to Doug is, if you were Doug Armstrong, you're a pocket GM. You're going to act like, GM for a day. If there was a certain player that came available, who would that player be? And who would you be okay with getting rid of to take said player?
Ooh.
For this year, for this calendar year, Blues in your mind are making the playoffs, but they don't get there without this guy. Who are you taking? Within reason, obviously. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm going to take Barkov, and we just can't make that happen. But who would you be okay with getting rid of from our current 23-man roster?
Oh, that's tough. Man, that's a tough one because you have so much.
And you don't
talent
have
out
to,
there.
you don't have to say, you don't have to be like, yeah, all right, well, I'm not getting rid of anybody. You can say that.
I mean, I don't know because like there is so much talent out there. Like you have Kaprizov, you have McDavid, you have them guys, but I don't think they fit in the Blues strategy.
I have an answer to my own question because I was I was thinking about this last year about somebody we would desperately need back. If that rings some bells.
I mean, I honestly that's a tough question.
That's okay.
I think right now I would stick with the roster we have, but yeah, that one's just really a tough question.
The guy that comes to mind for me is Ivan Barbashev.
I do like him. He is a good player. I could definitely see that being a good addition. I don't think he comes with a heavy price tag though. So
yeah, he got paid from Vegas only because that dude was an integral part of them winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that he would be a good addition, and he already knows the Blues system, so he definitely added to it. I mean, I don't know who you give up for him though.
That's true.
That one I can't answer and give you a good, honest answer on.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, it's not easy being a GM.
No. I mean, I obviously, you know, being part of the Blues Lounge, we're all keyboard GMs, but on that one, I honestly can't give you a good answer and feel confident with that.
That's fine. That's fine. You're a good GM. You're Doug Armstrong-esque. You keep it close to the chest, and at times you might just sit on it. So hey,
yeah,
that's a good response. I was just curious because I know Jacob likes to think of me as like the Paul Bissonnette to the Ryan Whitney. He's Ryan Whitney. He's always very philosophical and like how he talks, and like he's very smart about the game. Where I'm like the Bissonnette. I'm all tattooed up. I'm thinking wild, crazy things. So
both good dudes, by the way.
Very good dudes. Love them for that. But yeah, I always like to think of these crazy, like what ifs, what could be, you know. And these are all this like things that turn into my head as Blues fan. I love seeing Ivan Barbashev with us. I hated that we didn't get to be able to keep him and see him flourish, but happy to see him win one with Vegas. Just want him back. So that was more of a question driven towards who could fit into our system now that you know, a kid can wish, right? But
yeah,
we're gonna jump into the second segment that everybody loves. We're gonna test your not just Blues knowledge. We're gonna test your NHL knowledge. We're gonna play a game called Whose Line Is It Anyway? This is a game where I list off line combinations. I'm gonna give you a center, a left wing, and a right wing. And you got teams to choose from all across the NHL. I will give you hints along the way if you need them. There is a phone a friend, and we might even let you ask a friend in the section in the Facebook group. So we're gonna start off. I think this might be easy, but you tell me. All right. First line. You're gonna tell me what team. And is it first, second, third, or fourth? Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to give you right wing, center, left wing. Starting off, Marcus Johansson, Joel Eriksson Ek, and Vladimir Tarasenko.
That's the Minnesota Wild.
Correct. What line is it?
Is it a third line?
It is not.
Okay.
What line
I know
is
the team. It's obviously. I'm gonna go with second line then.
it? It is the second line of the Minnesota Wild. See, we just had to get the toes wet. We had this is a
Yeah.
little icebreaker. You got the first one down, they're gonna get harder. The next team we have Pavel Zacha, Casey Milstat, Victor Arvidsson.
That the Predators?
It is not the Predators.
I just watched a review of this team. Who is it?
Some close in color. You want to hint east or west?
Yeah,
Eastern.
Eastern. Okay. So I'm drawing a blank here now. I just
Would you
watched
like-
a review of it too, because Middlestat scored a goal. Is it the
Would you like
Penguins?
division? What's up?
Is it the Penguins?
It is not the Penguins. Would you like a division?
Yeah.
The Atlantic.
Good Lord.
Look, I said it was going to get harder. I didn't say it was going to get like super hard, but like
No, that what's killing me is I just watched the highlights of Middlestat scoring. Who is it?
all of these teams
I'm
have
drawing a blank
something
here.
to do with the Blues. So I'll give you another clue. The Blues got one hell of an acquisition last year. It wasn't a player. Who did he come from?
I'm drawing a blank here majorly now.
We played them to win the Stanley Cup.
Boston?
Yes. Boston.
Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't get that.
First, second, or third, or fourth line.
Who was it again?
Pavel Zacha, Casey Milstat, and Victor Arvidsson.
I'm gonna go with third line with them.
Third line, you said?
Yeah,
It is not the third line.
fourth line.
Not the fourth line.
There's no way that's a first line lineup.
It is not. You're right. That is the second line.
Wow.
All right.
Oh,
I'll go a
that
little
one was
easier.
that one was horrible.
I'll go a little easier. Hey, look, the first when I was a guest and not a co-host, I think I got one right, maybe one right, and I would consider myself very like history-esque. Like I know certain players. I ship the bet. All right, we're gonna go. I think a tad easier on you. Remember, team, and then the line. This is your pairing. Kevin Fiala, Quentin Byfield, Joel Armia.
All right, so definitely the Kings.
Definitely the Kings. Okay, what line is it?
I'm gonna start off with the fourth line. Third line.
No.
Oh my Lord. Is this a second line too?
It is. All right. Now we've established that Dakota likes trends. That's 3 straight second lines. We're going to do one more. Usually we do 3. Let's do 4. the last one for you, and this is one team that I absolutely love, the color of their jerseys, now that they've changed it. Ready? The line is Jordan Martinook, William Carrier, and Jordan Stahl.
Oh. There's so many Stahl brothers. I'm trying to figure out which one does Jordan.
Everybody's answering.
Oh, Martinook isn't that the? Thanks, Justin. Yeah, the Canes. It took a second to click.
Tell me what you got. First, second, third, or fourth?
So you went second line for most of them.
Yes,
So
that's cool.
I have a feeling you're going to switch this one up.
What gave that away?
Would that be a first liner?
No.
It's not a second line, is it?
No. So that's
Okay, third
we
line.
got a 50-50 shot here.
I'm going to go with the third line.
It is the third line. Jordan Stahl is the center for the Carolina Hurricanes on the third line.
There's so many
it was
Stahl
awesome.
brothers.
Yeah, dude. Like at one point, there was 3 Stahl brothers all playing in the NHL. It's funny that you mentioned Stahl. We just played a team with 3 Pedersens, none of which had any relation to each other. But yeah, it's the last name Stahl is forever going to be part of the NHL. So, Danny, it was an absolute pleasure getting to talk to you tonight. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. Guys, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook, Twitter. We got all of it. Tune in every single week for your latest and greatest podcast by Jacob and myself. Always taking hot takes all around the Blues Fan Forum. So tune in. Let us know what you think. We're always looking for guests. If you want to get on the podcast like Danny, shoot us a DM. Reach out to us via Facebook. Even comment on one of our Facebook posts. We love talking to you guys and getting your perspective of everything Blues related. So, Danny, we're done for the rest of the night. Let's get a Let's Go Blues from you, and we'll get out of here.
Let's go Blues.
All right. See you, everyone.